Hello, hola, and stuff, and everybody in different countries. It's me. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm trying not to think about the bad things that just happened, but I need to clear my head and talk to you guys. So join me. Shall you? You know where I got that from, huh?
Yep.
Somehow just I wanted to say it. It was right there. I was like, join me. Shall you? Welcome, everyone.
We can always talk about the piping hot beverage.
Yeah, let's not forget the piping hot decaffeinated beverage. Sure you can. What the hell now? Hello, Liddy. If you can, please send some of your people here. Raid me. Margie TV, thank you. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta hook up my headset.
I actually was just about
There.
to
Can
call
you hear
you.
me?
Yeah.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Josh, say something.
Ass.
Hang on 1 second. It's not working. Redo this here. Settings. Can you hear me?
Yes.
But I can't hear you. Josh, I'm gonna drop down and then come back up. See if that works.
Okay. Hello, Susanna. Margie. Thanks for being here.
Okay. Now I can hear you.
What?
Now I can hear you. See, you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you.
Then you said, say something. I said, tits.
Yeah, and I didn't hear a thing. I saw you moving, but I couldn't hear shit.
I could have went like this.
Mm-hmm. I know nobody else isn't doing shit right now. They have no excuse not to show up.
I know, and I shared my link out to at least 50 people.
Ow.
And I even said it, I don't know if I made a mistake, but I sent it to Tammy and Ellie's. I told them to stay in the chat. I just want men's up here to chat with me. Nothing but men's.
Well, I'd like to have a few Filipinas to talk to up here.
I know. And
You get more Filipinas in your live stream than mine. Fuck.
Right. You should really subscribe to this girl in my chat here. Her name's Letty. She'll raid your channel. She'll send her people over around this time. That's what she's doing. She has like 6 phones, but then
6 phones.
a laptop and 12 phones. Something like that. And she looks at everybody's channel, whoever's on or something. But it kind of died for a minute in the chat.
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm shut down here at the TA in Youngstown, Ohio. I had some good stir fry for dinner. The restaurant's not open here, but they say that the people that were left working the restaurant were 2 cooks, and that's everybody else quit and wouldn't come back, and they can't hire anybody. So the cooks just prepare some of the dishes and they put them out there in the case that keeps it warm. And I bought the stir fry. Like, any soy sauce? No. Shit. It's really good with soy sauce, but they don't have any. I'm going to have to go to find my way into a Walmart and buy my own soy sauce.
Now, another good sauce for whatever, for Chinese or Japanese or whatever you're eating, would be duck sauce. It's like a pink flavored with a little to it.
Yeah, I tried that once. No, thank you. I tried it on an egg roll and it's like, I didn't like it.
I layer it on my lo mein noodles. That's all I like. It's just the spaghetti noodle thing. I just layer all that on there.
The noodles that look like shoestrings?
Yes. Yeah, we have this place up here called Szechuan Palace. It's pretty good. Not cheap.
I'll tell you what, that restaurant that Boosie Bonita worked at, Kusantra or something like that, it's a Filipino restaurant. Oh, man, that food was awesome. And it wasn't expensive either. They had shrimp, beef, pork, all of it, man. It's like, ooh.
I think it's hilarious when those type of, okay, so buffet Chinese, Japanese restaurants, Japanese steakhouses, they have buffets. And they usually, what's funny is they'll have pizza. That's Italian. But they'll have pizza as the option.
The way they make pizza over there is a little bit different. Like I told Boot, I said, Boot, you got to go to Chicago at Exchequers. That's a real pizza. You try that, you'd be like, whoa, yes, there's a big difference.
Sean says, you'll be moist for 2 weeks.
She'll be lucky to finish one slice of the deep dish because, damn, I eat one slice of the deep dish and I'm like, I can't eat another bite. There's a lot of cheese on that pizza. Yeah,
Now,
they're not skimpy on the ingredients like most pizza places are.
Would you, in a form of a challenge, not with me, I'm just saying random something, would you, as a challenge, if a pizza restaurant had a deal of, here, have this huge New York style, and if you finish it within an hour, either get two options: $100 or a free T-shirt. Would you do it?
Back when I was younger, yeah, because I could pack away the food back in the day. But I had a metabolism going 100 miles an hour. I
Yeah.
could have done it, yeah, easy. But when I got into my 30s, it's like I can't do that kind of shit anymore.
We had a place where I used to live out west that did that stuff. Like, oh, if you eat this pizza, we'll give you a free T-shirt and your
Well,
pizza will be on the house. So,
Well, they got this 72-ounce steak, the salad, the shrimp cocktail, the baked potato, and the roll. You got an hour to finish that. That was on TV. They had this on TV once. I've been there many a time. I seen an 11-year-old kid do it, an 89-year-old lady do it, which was amazing, and a 28-year-old Molly Schuler. She's lucky to be 130 pounds soaking wet, and she was able to do two of them in less than an hour. She polished off her first one in less than 8 minutes. That's a world record.
her steak?
8 minutes, yeah. The 72-ounce steak, the baked potato, the salad, and the shrimp cocktail, and the roll.
Yes,
She did it under 8 minutes.
That's a lot of food. Fuck.
Shit, yeah. She was inhaling that shit.
It's not healthy eating like that.
The competitive eaters, they train themselves to do that. And they don't hold it down either. They keep it in long enough to take photos and everything. And when the show's over, they go in the bathroom. Boom.
I know I couldn't do the eating challenges if it was hot dogs. Ugh, no.
That Japanese guy, I can't remember his name, but he was whipping all kinds of ass being a competitive eater. And he's lucky to be like 130 pounds soaking wet. He was a tiny dude. He won the one and only Glutton Bowl. I remember watching that. And it got good ratings, too. There were 10 rounds. The winner of each round went to the last round. And when you saw him up there with everybody else, you see all these big dudes, right? He looks like a little kid up there. And he ends up winning it. He was from Japan. And he has like this Zen way of doing that shit. And it's like, golly, man, how's he doing it?
He was soaking his bread too. I remember that. I saw it.
Well, that was the hot dog eating contest. He won that like 3 years in a row. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest at Coney Island.
Okay.
Now, yeah, he was winning everywhere. But Molly Schuler beat his ass because he set the stage of that steak. He only did one. But he did it in like just under 9 minutes. She did it under 8 minutes. And it's like, whoa. I had a student try it. He got it all down except maybe a little sliver of the steak. And he goes, dog. He's pointing to his throat. It's right there. He couldn't do anymore. He was from Baltimore, too. I was like, damn. I kept checking on him. I'm like, how you doing, man? I was even screwing around with him, put my head down by his belly. Like Dan Aykroyd did John Candy. He goes, we're processing just fine. I was like coaching him, too. I thought he was going to pull it off. When I came back, he's sitting there like, damn. He just got maybe a little bit smaller than a beef hamburger, hamburger patty. I can't do it, man. It's like, come on, man. You're so freaking close. Yep. He went to the bathroom and hurled. Boom. Like, yep. And he goes, how come you don't ever try this? He said, I know I can't do it. I had dinner while you're doing this contest. I ordered the 18-ounce steak with jalapenos, raw jalapeno, and that's it. I said, I'm lucky just to finish that 18-ounce sirloin and nothing else.
Did your asshole burn? Because you said raw jalapeno. Those are...
Nah, I'm immune. Even the Mexicans look at me like, oh, the gringo's got some balls, I see. Because some of them can't do it. And they're amazed that I could do it. I'm like, crunch. And I'm sitting there biting. I'm looking right at them. They're waiting for me to start tearing up and turning red. No, doesn't phase me a bit. So one guy down in Tijuana, he looked at me with big eyes. He goes, "Oh, the gringos got some balls, they say."
You have to say it right. Tijuana. I've been down there too. My family took us down there. They have almost like an outdoor mall, if you will, somewhere. I don't remember where it was at, but I remember going to a mall with my family just over the border when it was okay to go over the border. Yeah, back in the 80s.
Well, see, everybody assumes that Mexicans can tolerate eating raw piña like that. For the most part, yeah, but a lot of times, no. It goes along with what Samuel Jackson said in the Die Hard movie. McClane's handing him a machine gun, an assault weapon, and he goes, "How do you work this?" And he looked at him. He goes, "Just because you hand a brother a weapon doesn't mean he knows how it works, you racist motherfucker." Well, that's true about Mexicans and jalapeno. Not all of them can take the heat,
Yeah.
That was my favorite Die Hard movie with Samuel Jackson in it. The way those two fought back and forth.
That was part 3, I believe.
Yeah, and I showed you all the place where they filmed where it ended, with the helicopter.
Yeah.
Right. That's the TA right there. I took you right by the spot. And that whatever that motel did not exist. They just put a sign up there. But that was the TA truck stop in Jessup, Maryland. And I don't go in there. I only went in there that one time just to show you guys that. Other than that, I don't go in there because we had a driver named Chad, and I knew him.
Mister.
And he was murdered in front of his truck right there in the parking lot due to the mistaken identity. And it was over a woman. She thought that was the dude that his wife was cheating on him with. And it wasn't him. It wasn't him. And I blamed the TA company because you're not going to get back there in a four-wheeler. You have to be in a big truck like mine to get back there into the parking lot. It's gated. That means some employee had to have let him in because he drove up to him in the car and just shot him like a drive-by and then drove off. And then somebody had to let him out. So that made TA liable. And whoever that employee was has a lot to answer for letting somebody back there that wasn't authorized.
Right.
And that's why I don't go and I won't patronize that TA. Never. I just went in there that one time when I had Darren with me and I was just showing everybody where they filmed that scene from Die Hard.
I was there too when you did it live.
The only thing was it was done during the day, not the nighttime.
Yeah. It was a parking lot of a hotel or something, right?
Well, there's the parking lot to the truck stop. The entire scene that you're looking at, that's the truck stop. To the left of the building, when you were facing downward, when you were looking at McClane, to the left of there where the motel was supposed to be, that's actually the diesel fuel island. That main building there used to be a motel, but they closed it down, and they haven't decided what they're going to do with it yet. But that inside there is another part of the truck stop with the restaurant. And then on one floor is nothing but showers and a restroom. But other than that, all the floors have been closed for years because that was a big whorehouse that was being ran out of there back in the day. Girls would just stand in front of their door and you just walk down the hall and pick one out and you go in her room, do your business and get out, Because it was going on back in the day when I started trucking, and I'm like, no, I ain't going in there. But I think that the big bust happened. I think it was 2011. They had a big bust there, busted every girl in there trying to work, and the TA went ahead and shut it down. It hadn't been open ever since. Well, I tell you what, man, there would be anywhere between 150 to 200 girls working in there. It was like one giant ass brothel.
Who's this?
Anyway, just because I have knowledge of all this crap doesn't mean I partook in that. No, no, no. I'm the opposite. If women, are doing that, they pay me. I don't pay them. I'm a businessman. That's bad business. The commodity never pays the surplus. That's bad business. And women, I'm sorry to say this, you're the surplus because there'll always be more females than males. So the males were the commodity. Looking at it from a business standpoint.
Right. Hey, Michelle, thanks for stopping in. Are you looking at the chat, Sean?
Yeah. I don't know why nobody will come up. Have a good conversation. But no, I wish I can get into a lot more places like that. I know where they are. It's just there's no way I can get my rig anywhere near it to where I could do what I did, like at that TA. That was where they filmed that part of Die Hard. So I think that's kind of cool. I mean, like, hey, yeah, this is where they filmed such and such.
Right. Michelle, if you're listening, go ahead and try to bring others in here. Tell
Or come up to
Letty's
the
people.
panel. Yeah, you can come up to the panel. It's easier to talk than it is to type, I say.
Yeah.
I get misunderstood anyway when I type. I'm like, that's not what I said. I mean, that's what I said, but I didn't mean it that way. That's why I hate typing messages because it gets misunderstood.
Guess I can't ever see you. When you type anything, if you ever try, I just don't see it.
Yeah. Now I saw you drop the link in the chat. Maybe it's because I'm on StreamYard is why. But normally I can't see anything that you put in the chat, and you can't see me. Now Darren and Sheer, they could see me in the chat. It's just you couldn't.
And I went back to my Google blocking list, and you're not blocked. I would never do that to you.
No, it's something with YT. It happens. I don't know how to fix it, but somebody came up with a fix it. They explained how you fix that, but I don't remember.
So do you have like a Gmail email account?
I have a Gmail, but I only did that to get on Google. My email's from Yahoo, and I rarely ever check it. That's right. Really, I'm not on social media except for YT here. That's about it. And I use the Facebook Messenger, even though I was banned from Facebook.
Hey, Jerlyn, how you doing?
See, look at that. You get all the women. No, none of them show up to my live streams whenever I have one.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I invited quite a bit of people for this tonight, hoping that nobody really had any big plans. And then I've got those that are regulars that come by that we all get along and talk about whatever. And I got some that hate others, some that won't be there if one is there, and some that refuse to come by.
You got to send the streamer link to Sammy just to see what would happen.
She's blocked me, and I've blocked her.
What is it that went on between you two? I know it wasn't you.
I think
You
it's
did
like
something.
I think it's like you, that small penis thing.
I ain't got a small penis. She just says that because Sammy's angry because I am something she'll never have, and she wants me so bad, and she's had a crush on me. And I told her, I said, Sammy, I love you as a friend. You're great personality and everything. I'm just not that way. I was nice about it. But she tried to force it for a long time to do anything. She tried she ruined my name with a bunch of Filipinas on here, and I told those Filipinas why she did that. So you wouldn't take interest in me because Sammy can't have me. She ain't gonna want me to be with anybody. That's why I was ruined. So I started going to some YouTube channels with Japanese ladies that speak English. The Sagis, Smiley Time with Miley. She's a former idol. I mean, they're great. And Asagi's got a lot of single female friends, and she's a matchmaker. And she keeps telling me, that girl wanted to talk to you. I'm like, well, why didn't she say anything? Because she's shy. I'm like, well, that doesn't help. You don't get anywhere if you don't say anything. It's like, just say hello, It's like, what am I going to do? In the screen, there's nothing I could do. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
I said, and she knows because I told her that many times. I said, shoot, if they met me in person, they would go running and scream, it's Godzilla. And then everybody would scatter.
Or it's like that huge bitch thing on Deuce Bigelow. Holy shit, it's Bigfoot!
I did. When I was in Japan and the Philippines, I felt like Gandalf in the movie Lord of the Rings. And I did. I hit my head on, short door hinges. I hit the top of the door. Man, I damn near, that hurts.
So there was this Family Guy episode of like a Lord of the Rings cutaway. So Stewie said something to Brian, right? And Brian was like, "Oh, sounds like something Gandalf would say at a top of a mountain. Oksana Bayou, And you see Oksana drive her, because she's a drunk, she drives her car right into the mountain and opens the gate. He's like, okay, we can all go in now. And, so it was, you were talking about whatever it was, but what was it that you just talked about?
Well, we all went to Charisma's grandmother's house in Quezon City. And when we got inside, that's what it was like. I had to keep ducking because there were beams that were hanging kind of low. Not for anybody else, but for me, yeah. And I ended up hitting my head on what was it? The chandelier. To avoid that, and I turned, bang, I hit the chandelier. It's like, shit.
And when Gandalf yelled for Oksana Bayul, she crashed the car. She gets out and all tipsy and walking funny. He's like, okay, we can all go in now. Because she made a hole in the mountain. It's just funny. You have to watch it.
Well, I'm used to it now. Whenever I go to like Japan or the Philippines or whatnot, I'm used to it now, and I know to keep an eye out. Okay, there's some low hanging fruit right there. It took me a while, but after about a week, I'd stop hitting my head because I'd be ducking around. And I remember going into this one club, the doorway, I literally had to bend down because it was built a long time ago, and the doorways are shorter. And I remember Barry goes, "How's Sean going to get in?" He goes, "Oh, there you go, mate. There, you made it." And my head was right next to the ceiling, and everybody's looking at me.
Right.
Now, modern day places, I'm good. The doorways are high enough. But if they were built like way back in the day, no, I have to duck through the doorway. Yeah, like going upstairs at Charisma's grandmother's house. I don't remember her name. I had to crawl up the stairs.
So I'm going to send this to your messenger, and if you could look at it. Hold on a second. We double deal dare you to try Sonic's Pickleria Slush. Hold on. Sounds like something Gandalf says at the foot of a mountain.
Excuse me. That stir fry's talking back at me.
So go ahead and check your messenger. I just sent it.
But it was good though. I'll have to wait till after to watch it.
Wow, you on your phone?
Yeah, it'll knock me off of StreamYard if I click on that. But it's ridiculous. The baby and the dog are the brains of the outfit. Everybody else in the show is a moron.
Right.
The dog and the infant child are the brains of the outfit.
Man, where is everyone? Seriously?
Not much to do on a Monday night.
Somebody's watching. One's watching. The chat died again.
Yeah, I'll be delivering this load in 26 hours. That sucks.
So you could sleep in, basically, right?
Yeah. I mean, I deliver at 11 o'clock tomorrow night, and it's like, well, why can't I deliver at 11 o'clock tonight instead of waiting till Tuesday? I mean, my revenue is going to be shit for this week because, given too much time on a load when I can deliver and be on my next load by in the morning. I can get a whole nother load in.
So when you snooze at night when it's time for bed, do you like crack the windows or just keep the AC on, the truck running? Yeah,
I
those
keep the
shades. You have shades.
I keep the AC running on my APU unit, and like during the fall or like late September when it starts to cool down. Yeah, I won't run the AC at all, and I'll just roll my windows down.
Would that be safe?
Yeah. Uh huh.
Because you were talking about people getting murdered, whatever.
Oh well. I think somebody with me, there wouldn't be too much of a mistaken of identity. I mean, with Chad, he was a white dude with a shaved bald head. Well, and he's a trucker, and then the dude found out what the guy looked like that his wife was cheating on with. He was a truck driver. He's a white guy with a shaved head, so he just shot that guy, and it wasn't him. But he went to prison for manslaughter, and the guy that he was probably going to shoot probably is banging his wife while he's in prison now. But Chad was an innocent bystander in all this, and got murdered for because of mistaken identity.
So you were talking about manslaughter. So here's the deal. In the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson, he interrogates Busta Rhymes. He's in it. And Liam looks at his file and it says, "You were in prison for man's laughter." And Buster goes, "Manslaughter."
Well, I would have shot him anyway.
Man's laughter. I thought that was funny. I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't know if it's going to be any good.
Yeah, I didn't know Coolio or that one dude that looked like a giant spider died on his head. Gangster's Paradise, that dude, he ended up dying. When did he die? I didn't know he died.
Yeah, September of 22.
What happened to him? He get shot too?
No, he was at a friend's house in Vegas. He moved out of LA to Vegas. So he's hanging out with his friend. They had different things to take, wink, wink, pills.
Oh, so he OD'd then.
He OD'd, but he popped some in. He had to go use the bathroom. He died in the toilet.
Just like Elvis Presley.
Not on the toilet, but in the toilet. But the thing is, we got to meet him, what, Buns? Coolio, 3 times? Twice? 3 times?
Rob Schneider was,
At a comedy show and
and
Coolio
then
walks in
Coolio was sitting
the
at
back.
the table.
Yeah, in the back. Coolio was the nicest guy.
Yeah, but there's no mistaking that hair.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like
Yeah.
a giant spider died on his head.
He actually he had to cut his hats open for holes to let his hair come out. He wore hats. And he literally had his hats cut out or made that way. So he didn't have to fold his hair, but it went through the top of the hat basically. So he can flare it out.
Yeah, the big fat dude that was doing the backup singing in that song was a better singer than he was. That's what was funny. I didn't listen to that music back in the day when it came out. But I was like, my stepbrother was watching it on MTV. I'm like, the backup singer is a better singer than he is.
Yeah. No, we got to meet Vanilla Ice. We got to meet Coolio, Tone Loc. Coolio and Tone Loc did like a Halloween bash in Charlotte. So we got to be like a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Tone Loc was the man.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he was. Okay. I think I told you this. He bought us dinner. I was there to see him, so I was talking to his manager. She gave me free tickets.
And he would have bought us
Everything on the menu.
in the
Anything we wanted.
restaurant.
Anything.
Yeah, I would have been quoting the movie Ford Fairlane with him and Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
But
I like
we
how
didn't need it all.
I
And
like
he-
how Jim
and
Carrey.
he,
Jim Carrey said he talked with his ass. He's like, Tony Hawk said, "I'm our ace. If Einhorn sees me talking to you, oh your ass, I'm history."
I like that he did the voice for the baby in the cartoon movie Bebe's Kids.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did the voice for the infant child in the diapers. He goes,
Okay.
"We're glad you're here. We saved you a slice."
So we were doing this Halloween bash thing. We were there for the concert. It was rained out, but they still played later that night. Man, we were soaked as hell. And
Yeah, it rained out.
yeah, and it ruined
was-
everybody's costume, and everybody was wet and soaked. And
Do you remember
So-
that cartoon Bebe's Kids? It was from the late '90s when it came out.
I believe Bill Cosby produced that one, didn't he?
I don't remember, but I was kind of thinking you might know who that comedian was that was the main character in it. He's a comedian. I do know that. And I cannot remember for the life of me who he was. He basically just played himself, did the voice. He just played himself, basically.
Was he black?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the guy's name in Friday, the father?
No, it wasn't him.
I
That's
don't
John
know.
Witherspoon.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was him.
No, it wasn't him. This guy was a comedian, kind of chubby, and had a mustache.
Well,
Oh.
this guy, he wasn't chubby,
Okay, shh. Hold on.
but
Hold on.
he was an older man, and
Never mind. We're talking about something else.
I
So-
can't remember.
I
What
think I
his
know who
name
you're talking
was.
about. He always wore a ball cap, didn't he? Comedian.
Oh,
What's his name? Fuck, man. Something like.
yeah, Pee Wee. Tone Loc did the voice for Pee Wee, the infant baby. There's Robin Harris and Faison Love, Wayne Collins Jr. These were people that were in it. But John Witherspoon was in it. He was the card player, number one. Louis Anderson was in it. Wow, I didn't know they were in that. Ronaldo Ray, he was a hilarious comedian.
I think the comedian I'm thinking of, he's deceased now, but has been for a while.
Yeah, Robin Harris was the lead character. Robin Hughes Harris Sr. He died in 1990. Really? Wait a minute. That movie came out in the late 90s, didn't it? Yeah, it came out in 1992.
Hmm. Leave it alone, Bones. Today, Hoax.
Tomorrow Harris.
What time is it right now? It's 2 minutes, but it's okay. Hold on.
Oh, it was Wayne Collins. It looks like that played the part. Yeah, Wayne Collins Jr. played the male character in Bebe's Kids.
But check and see if Bill Cosby produced it. I swear I knew he'd produced something. Not Fat Albert. He did another cartoon. Now, did I tell you that they did a Family Guy Fat Albert cutaway?
No, I didn't know about that.
Well, get this one, okay? So the gang comes up to him. So Fat Albert lost his foot due to diabetes. Now, the gang comes over and says, he's like, "Hey, Fat Albert, you want some chocolate or a donut?" And he's like, "I don't think I should have it on account of my diabetes." but I guess I'll just try one. And then the gang, what's his name? The one that mumbles? Mushmouth said, well, get this. You get your shoes half priced. He was
That was
one too.
Yeah, the guy that played the lead character, voiced the lead character in Bebe's Kids. It's a true story. He's a comedian. Yeah, it's the cartoon was a true story that he had lived himself. I would have never known it was a true story.
Yeah, Fat Albert was, I lost my foot due to my diabetes. And they said diabetes. I'm not making it up.
I think the original Fat Albert was better.
Oh, obviously. Bill Cosby did about 6 of those voices.
Yes, he did.
Not the whole gang, but he did 6 of them, I think. They're bringing King of the Hill back, all 10 episodes, new ones.
They announced that today.
Yep. I didn't really like that show.
Bill Cosby had nothing to do with Bebe's Kids.
I'm sorry?
Bill Cosby had nothing to do with the movie Bebe's Kids.
Okay.
But it was a true story.
They had Bill Cosby in a Family Guy episode, a cutaway of The Princess Bride. And Bill Cosby played Carrie Elway's character. And he was having the wine with Stewie on a rock. And he was like, now you see, you put the 2 pills in the wine, and then the women go Betty Bye with the mouth open. You know, and Stewie was like, oh, clap, clap, clap. You know, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Oh, that's sad. How the hell did Bebe's Kids cost $10 million to make? And it only grossed $8.4 million at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
Despite this, it spawned a video game of the same name 2 years later. But it's about him dating this chick, this hot girl named Jamaica, and she has 3 kids. And her nickname is Bebe, you know. Bebe's Kids.
I was growing up when they had Fat Albert on TV.
What, on PBS or something? Because that's what Bill Cosby did, some kind of children's stuff on there, and he always had his shows on PBS or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And there was this LeVar Burton show, Reading Rainbow. And if you put LeVar Burton's Star Trek thing on your eyes, it's nothing but porn. That's what they claim was in there.
That's not right.
Sean says, I didn't know that. I'm sorry? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I thought you crashed out.
Well, I was reading more about that show because I haven't seen it since then. I mean, I watched it with my stepbrother way back in the late '90s, I remember it like yesterday. It was hilarious. I didn't know it was a true story. And knocked the hell out of them kids.
Are you serious, Sean? Guess what? We've been here 50 minutes and still no one's been here. Now I know who my friends are.
Well, maybe they got something else better to do. Because me, I ain't got nothing to do besides drive this truck, take a shower, do my laundry. But I could do probably one load, but that's all that's in there. I'm gonna wait till I got a little more, one load to do.
But are you heading home after this, or you gotta go somewhere else?
No, I'm staying out on the road. I'll be on the road probably till the end of this month.
We did the laundry too.
He left.
Why?
He didn't say.
That's
I don't believe it. I was looking at something and it got knocked off the StreamYard. See, I hate that.
What happened?
Ah, shit.
What happened?
I was looking at something. That got knocked off the StreamYard. I kept talking and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even on here and I'm talking to you like I'm still here. That ain't gonna work. Stephanie McMahon's gonna come back to the WWE. Good. I hope Kana kicks her ass. Yeah, like a matter of minutes after Hogan died, the announcement was made. Matter of minutes after that, Vince McMahon gets into a nasty car accident on the Marriott Parkway in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's where, at the area he lives. And he didn't know about Hogan dying until later in the day. And I like that on Jim Cornette's, corny drive-through. I always listen to that show. And I'm asking the same thing. And Jim Cornette asked it, where the hell was he going? He was driving 90 miles an hour in a 55 on that damn parkway. I've been on it before. And I'm like, where the hell was he going that he had to drive that fast? He sure as hell wasn't going to the office because he don't own WWE anymore.
No, what's his name? What's that guy's name that took over?
The owners of TKO took over WWE. And you see, Shane McMahon years ago, before he left and never came back, he was hoping that he was going to inherit the WWE just like Vince inherited from his dad. And Shane knew what the hell he was doing. Shane was wanting to buy out TKO that owns the MMA fighting and shit. He was going to buy them out. And Vince said no. Kind of ironic that TKO ends up buying Vince out. But see, Vince didn't have a choice. He was facing a big ass lawsuit. A lot of sexual harassment and weird sexual shit was going on in that trial. And it's like, look, man, the guy's in his 80s. You're not going to get much justice there. The only thing you're going to get, whatever money he's got, which is in the billions, yes. But I know he didn't like having to sell the WWE. I bet you Vince Sr. rolled over in his freaking grave on that one. But like I said, these billionaires are not like us. They're totally different. There's no love in that family. Even Jim Cornette said that because he would always be over at the house because he was a part of the creative team for a few years with Jim Ross. And they'd always have to go there almost every day for a meeting and how they were going to decide shit. And he even said there wasn't really any love in the family. Not like a normal family is. Cubs just took the lead 2-1. They're playing against Cincinnati there at Wrigley. It's the bottom of the fourth. No outs, bases are empty. Cubs are going to go to the World Series this year. First time in 9 years. And the thing is, they don't have veterans on their team. They're all a bunch of rookies. But yet, Cubs kick ass. Ugh.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
Oh, you did hear it?
What, the Cubs?
No, you didn't hear it then. No, it was Kana saying, "Hi, Sean." Did you enjoy the video?
Who are you talking to?
Nobody. I was talking to you. I was wondering if you heard that because I played that message.
No, I didn't hear it.
Jesus, it's still 80 degrees outside and the sun went down. That's not normal. Even in the summer, when I was a kid, it usually cooled down to about 70 degrees at night. It did never stay 80 to 90 degrees at night. No, I don't believe in the global warming because it's called global cooking. That's what it's doing. It's gone beyond the global warming.
Oh, leave it alone. I'm gonna come over there and rip those fuckers off.
It's weird. I felt like, Robin Williams just did this whole spiel not too long ago, but no, he did it before he died in 2014. It's like, whoa, how did he know? Oh, God. This is going to drive me up the wall. It's going to be a while before I get a new laptop to be able to karaoke again. But then yet, I got to get a laptop that'll link up with the my sound card so I can karaoke. For some reason, that one laptop won't do it. And I think I got inverter issues because when I plug it in, it wants to reset my inverter and it's just not working. Means you're overloading your inverter. I said, motherfucker, when I got this truck, I'd have all kinds of shit plugged into it and it didn't do it. Now it's doing it. It's the inverter that's the issue. And if I knew how to disconnect the inverter I have, I would buy me a brand new one right out of the truck stop because they're only like $300. Buy one just like just as powerful as the one I got.
Hey, Iris, thanks for showing up.
It's just a few bolts holding it onto the side of the cabinet, and there's 2 bolts for the negative and the positive from the batteries to hook to it. That's it.
Sean, say hey to Iris.
Hi, Iris. About time we see somebody type something in the chat. Max Traveler. That's Iris?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the super sticker. Josh can stick that on his ass.
Thank you, Iris. I appreciate it. Bonus member Iris.
Oh, yeah.
She sent us $10. $10.
Yeah, I never seen anybody give you a super sticker or a super chat or anything before. That's the first time.
Go ahead right now.
Hey, Iris. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Seems like everybody's busy tonight. I figured,
Iris is in the Navy. And she's on duty or doing stuff. She works at night on duty.
Where?
California.
Okay, because I was about to say, I went through Norfolk this time last night. I know there's a lot of people stationed in Norfolk.
No, she's in a town where I used to live, Lemoore, California, and it's a small country town and farmlands and stuff out there. And it's like 45 minutes south of Fresno.
Where is she stationed? I figured she would be stationed in Alameda.
No, in Lemoore, which is near Fresno. It's in the Central Valley.
But she's
Lemoore-
in the Navy.
Yeah, there's a base up there, Lemoore NAS.
She must be a recruiter then.
You can ask her. She's right. She can answer you.
Yeah, the big base is Norfolk. I went through it yesterday. Went over that bridge on US 13 to get up to Maryland. I did a bit that yesterday. I did a huge circle all the way around to Chesapeake. I took a load from Delaware and I was going to take it to Georgia. I made it to Despetunia, Virginia, and then somebody took that load from me and I took his empty. And they dismissed me on the other load because they loaded that chicken load late and I wasn't going to make it on time. Wasn't my fault. So I had to deadhead 64 through Norfolk and go back up there, Terraceville or something like that. Went right over that long ass bridge. I'm just glad it wasn't windy. It was Josh was doing a live stream too. If you look at his live stream from yesterday, you'll see me going over the bridge there, and you see the ships going over as I was going down into the tunnel. I'm sure you've probably been to Norfolk in the Hampton Roads area, right?
Me?
No, I'm an Iris.
She said I went. What'd you say?
The USSW Bush. Is that a destroyer class or what is that? Because basically that's all we have in the Navy anymore. Submarines, destroyers, and aircraft carriers. That's it. I mean, we have battleships that are museums. They can be brought back into service. But those were my favorite.
Who told you something?
It's an aircraft carrier. Okay.
Is that what she said?
That's what a CVN is an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, San Diego has a lot of ships parked there too. I do remember going on those as museum type things.
Yeah, a destroyer is only effective because of the invention of the Tomahawk missiles it can launch. Other than that, if you were to take the Tomahawk missiles off of a destroyer, I would rather be in the Missouri, the North Carolina, or the New Jersey, and I would destroy that the destroyer every time because there's no beating those 16-inch guns. Every day, and there's the USS Alabama too. Every time I see the Alabama on I-10 going through Mobile, I want to go over there and shoot one of the guns off.
And Pensacola is a Navy town. We used to live there too. That's where the Blue Angels are from.
Yeah, I remember being a kid, and they'd shoot off one of the 16-inch guns. Man, it sounded like a freight train going overhead.
And there's 3S Mom right there, LV Mix Games. That one right there has 20 accounts.
Yeah, I mean, the battleships are obsolete, but they could still be used and be very effective. And they were mostly used to make a beachhead for the Marines.
She said something.
Yeah, I read it.
Mm.
But nothing could still stand up to a battleship. Them things can take a lot of hits and they'd still be afloat. It wasn't easy to sink a battleship, let's put it that way. Not like the ones that, the New Jersey, the North Carolina, the Alabama, the Missouri, and the Iowa. There is the Wisconsin, but that was a different class of battleship. But the first 5 that I mentioned were the same class of battleships. And the last one that got retired was the Missouri. I'm like, well, why don't they put it in St. Louis? They can get it up the river.
So what'd you do?
They put it.
Back on?
They could, but they got the Missouri in Pearl. I think the Iowa is in California, if I remember correctly.
It's tighter.
Hi, LV Mix Games.
But it's tighter than that white one.
But I'm serious, man. When you look at one of those 16-inch guns, you're like, oh, I want to go over there and shoot one of them off. Probably get thrown in jail, get a mental eval. I'm like, wait a minute. I just shot the gun off. I didn't put a round in it, a projectile in it. I just put the powder in, boom. Yeah, they did that where the Alabama is. Everybody in Mobile know that someone shot one of the guns off. Everybody be looking outside. What the hell happened? Ugh. Anyway, another one I find interesting is the North Carolina. You have to go at the end of I-40, and when you get off there around the exit, it's like all of a sudden the woods just open up and you see the North Carolina. It's in a river. Nobody would know that battleship is sitting in the river right there unless you went in that little area to see it.
That's in Wilmington.
Mm-hmm. I've been by that one a couple of times. I didn't realize it was well hidden like that, though.
Well, how'd you know that?
Because I've been there before.
You been to that shit?
Yeah, they give tours.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
I went to one that was in, if I'm not mistaken, Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach, there's no battleship there.
No, where was it?
The easiest one for you to see would be the North Carolina because it's near you. The only other one that would be near you is if you went up to Philadelphia and you'd see the battleship New Jersey.
Iris is asking if you're in the military.
Who, me? Well, sort of. My dad was a United States Marine, Sergeant Major. He went in at the age of 15. And when I was little, and I don't remember it, I wasn't born yet, he busted himself back to gunnery sergeant so he can go back to Vietnam because he had a lot of friends over there. My dad served 3 tours in Nam as a Marine. And when he came back, they made him sergeant major again. But I vaguely remember my dad. I was like 3 years old. He was a drill sergeant. And it was in Parris Island. But later in life, he retired. I think at 75, he retired and he bought a truck, an old Mack 2-stick. Anyway, later on, when I hit 7th grade, my parents were divorced, and my dad sent me to military academy, Howe's Military Academy. I was there until my last 2 years of high school. Then he sent me down to my mom's because he was having trouble with his second wife. It was a big mess. He took me out of military academy, which I hated. I loved the military academy in Howe's in northern Indiana. I was having a good time because I already knew some of the upperclassmen and the commanding cadet. And he took me out and he goes, "You're going to have to go live with your mom." And it was right before we were going to start my junior year. But he sent me down to my mom's. She lived in South Carolina. She was a retired Chicago cop, opened up a bar. So I went to the old Santa de Strumpton in high school in Edgefield.
Strong Thurman.
And I was Santa the Strom Thurman. Yeah, he'd come down every Friday night for the football game, and he goes, Sean, give me the ball. I said, I'll see what I can do, Senator. And believe it or not, within the second quarter, we came in to sack the quarterback, and all of a sudden I noticed the ball is right there in my hands, laying on the ground, and I got the fumble. So I ran up, climbed over the fence, and ran up the stands and handed him the football. Everybody's wondering, where the hell's he going? Me, I was in the Air Cavalry briefly. I made it up the ranks pretty quickly. But I left as a captain. They wanted to keep me, wanted me to stay. They were going to make me a major, and I was like, no. Because what we were taught to believe in military academy, our commanding dean was General Belay. He taught us to be gentlemen in every way. He taught us how to be gentlemen, and we learned that, we're honorable and everything else. But what was going on in the military was not honorable. And a lot of your top brass was not taking responsibility of the weight of that brass on their shoulders. They were dumping it off on the junior officers to have to answer for. And I'm like, that's not right. I said, you're going to carry the weight of those stars on your shoulder. You don't throw your junior officers under the bus to save your ass. And that's why I left. I flew helicopters. But there's one thing I've always wanted to fly, and that's the Super Stallion. I never got to, because that's Navy. They were like flying an 18-wheeler in the sky. But I loved training the Huey, and the Blackhawk was beautiful too. But when I saw the Super Stallion, I'm like, ooh, I really want to get behind the stick on that one.
Thanks.
In a way, I kind of regret leaving, but then I don't. I almost caused an international incident over in Saudi Arabia because I knew who our real enemies were, and I wasn't going to drink with my enemy. The officers and my NCOs were sitting behind me, and we all were supposed to rise and drink as the Prince Bandar and his family raised a toast to us. Well, I was the last group to get up, and then my NCOs rose behind me, and I poured my drink out, and I set the glass down. I ain't drinking with my enemy. Oh, I got reprimanded for that one. That was when they finally were going to send me home. I almost went to Somalia, and I was almost the part. If they had sent me to Somalia, because I stopped there, and that was during what you all would know as the Black Hawk Down incident. I call it Black Hoe Down. Like, don't you ever take anything serious? Yes, I do, sir. I obey the orders. Oh, by the way, I don't know, but the last time I heard, I still hold the record for the most waste of ordnance in warfare history. Man, we wasted a lot of ordnance on that one. But the engineer is like, hey, that hill finally got out of the way. The guys got out of there to clear it. No. We blew the son of a bitch up, and I chain gunned it, flattened it out. Like, hey, they removed the freaking hill. No. That was the dishonorable thing that really took the cake. And I took all the heat for that. They wanted us to destroy this building. It looked like a 3-floor apartment building type complex thing. And my sergeant was looking at it all day long because I told him, look at that and keep an eye on it. Grab a couple guys, I don't care who they are, and just keep your eyes on that building. If you got to go use the restroom, have somebody else watching it. They're like, okay. And then I asked them. We saw nothing but women and children coming out of that building all day long. But and yet they wanted us to blow the shit out of it. And that was the orders. I said, and they knew what I meant because I was telling them we have to fire on this building that Sherry's been looking at all day long that had been women and children in it. They already knew what I meant by that. We weren't going to disobey orders, but we were just going to miss. And boy, we did. We shot everything out of that helicopters, all of them. We came back, and they found a lot of women and children at the bottom of the hill on the back side of the building. And a lot of them, my men came up to me and thanked me for that, because see, they would have ended up drunks the rest of their life, because every one of them had a father that was a Vietnam vet, and they knew what happened to them. You know, they did something like that, murdered a lot of women and children for no particular reason, and became drunks the rest of their life. I saved my men from that. No. My dad was in the Marine. Now, I kind of regret going the other way, but I wanted to fly helicopters. So I went with the Air Cavalry in the Army. And that girl, you're the biggest fuck up in the Army. He goes, sir, I did not disobey you, sir. He goes, did you look in the monocle? I'm like, yes, I did, sir. Well, how come you didn't hit your target? I said, maybe it was off kilter. Off kilter my ass. Believe me, at least I make good excuses and not stupid ones. But they respected me because some of them knew who my father was and his career. I like that when they sent me home, they tried to send me to Fort Leonard Wood. That's where they send all the flunkies. Right there in Missouri, Fort Leonard Wood. I mean, the name alone should tell you that sounds kind of screwed up. It is. And I said, I'm not going to re-up, and I left. And they even offered me.
We used to call it Fort Lost in the Woods.
I was 23 years old, and they offered me oak leaves.
Because my boyfriend was out there.
Yeah, if you get sent to Fort Leonard Wood, they're trying to get rid of you. Everybody knows that.
He was in officer candidate school.
Oh, where did he go?
Fort Leonard Wood.
Well, okay, yeah, they do have the officers candidate school there for the Army, but that's separate from the base itself, because usually when you graduate from OCS from there, you get sent out somewhere else. You know, it could be anywhere.
Yeah, he did.
But nobody stays at Fort Leonard Wood. But if you had been sent out, okay, and then you end up coming back as an officer, that's almost like a death sentence. Like I said, they send people to Fort Leonard Wood to get rid of them. But after I turned the oak leaves down, they knew I was leaving. They said, go to Fort Leonard Wood. I was there 2 days and I was gone. Yeah, but this was during Desert Shield, Desert Storm, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, he said they called it Fort Lost in the Woods.
That was a nickname, yes.
Well, that was basically it is. But that's where they send all the flunkies they want to get rid of. But as a truck driver, and I brag about this all the time, and I hope that Iris is still here. I've been to Fort Leavenworth 5 times. I wonder how many other people can say that. As a truck driver, I was delivering beef there. I delivered to Fort Leavenworth 5 times. And the guy that unloaded my truck, I swear to God, he did. He looked like Edwin Snowden, but the glasses were shaped a little different. He goes, everybody calls me that. They call me Snowden. And I had to be on the dock because it was the request of the shipper, because they've been having problems, I guess, at Fort Leavenworth because of shortages or whatever for the beef.
But I've been up there And it's out in the middle of nowhere.
I'm helping him unload it because he lifted this one skid up that had the beef on it, and it was leaning a little bit. And I said, I'll go back there and I'll press myself against it so it won't fall over and we can get it off the truck. All of a sudden, I said, I got it. And he can't see me. And the sergeant that's in charge of the dock there was yelling at me, who the hell are you? I said, hey, Sergeant Bilko, that's Maia. And I stand up and he stops. And I stand up and I look over at him. And he goes, oh, Mr. Jesus Christ himself. And I'm like, bless you, my son. I'm like, look, give it to me naturally. My father was a sergeant major in the Marine Corps. I had a very strict upbringing. There's nothing you could say or do to me that's really going to affect me. And I told him, I said, go talk to your lieutenant or your commander and say, I have to be on this dock to make sure that everything gets counted correctly because of the shippers over and short of it. Well, I wasn't notified of it. I said, Sergeant, you could take the watt out of your ass too. Oh, he didn't like me.
Well,
until the end there, and I said, I'm like, son, you're talking to a captain that used to be in the military, but now I look like Jesus because I got long hair, or Meatloaf.
my boyfriend was a first lieutenant.
When I left OCS as a second lieutenant, within 2 weeks I was a first lieutenant, and then a month later I became a captain. I went up pretty quickly. That's because I have military school.
Yeah. That's what.
And thanks to my father, I can strip down an M16 and an M60. I could strip it down blindfolded if I wanted to, because me and my brother used to do that, just to have something to do because we were bored as hell. Because back in the day, there was no internet, and we couldn't get to the arcade, so we had to find something constructive to do so we weren't bored out of our mind. We watched our dad kept stripping the weapons down and building them back together, and he's sitting at his office writing things down, and I'm stripping that weapon down and putting it back together. I stripped it down once. I was only I think I was like 5 or 6 years old. I took it apart just like he did, and I got the pieces sitting in front of me. Shawnee, because I was called Shawnee then because I was a little boy. What did you do that for? I said, I'll put it back together, Dad. You better put it back together before I get out of the shitter. I did.
And then when he came back, they gave him other jobs to do. And they were officer jobs.
Uh-huh. Well, my dad delegated work like that in the house with all 5 of his kids. Yeah, with that, the house never got dirty. Because when he said we had to clean, there wasn't much to clean up.
We heard you.
There wasn't much to clean in that house because it never really got dirty. We cleaned as we went. I want that photo album because my dad took many of photos with R. Lee Ermey before he became a movie star. Because my dad and him served together.
And I've been here an hour and 30 minutes. I only have 8 likes. Are you kidding?
Yeah, R. Lee Ermey and my dad were a lot alike.
Potty mouths.
Not necessarily to us kids. I think the only cuss words I heard my dad say when we were kids was shit and God damn it. That was about it. All the other bad stuff he would not say in front of us kids, and he wouldn't say it in front of our mother too. But the way he talked to his soldiers, he would never talk like that to his family.
Yeah, my boyfriend didn't say bad words to any of us. Even after he was in the military.
Yeah. This is the way the Marines were. Me and my brother would make our bed perfectly. You can bounce a quarter off of it. My dad would get down and look at it, and he said, nothing is good enough for a Marine. Even if you did it perfectly, they'll find an excuse of something that you did wrong, or you did something. That's all it is. It's a Marine like that is an impossible to please taskmaster.
Oh yeah, they're hardcore.
Not like today. They're nowhere near like my father was. The only thing my dad bitched about in the military is he never got his Purple Heart for breaking his ankle on that second lieutenant's ass in combat.
Okay, Iris, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for
Yeah, nice talking to you, Iris.
hanging out.
I remember telling my mother, I was telling that lieutenant to keep moving, and I kicked him in the ass, and it broke my ankle. I never got that damn Purple Heart. He wanted it, too. My dad was dying of cancer at hospice. He was in a wheelchair, and I'm sitting there next to him, and we were talking, and just me and him. And he goes, out of all that time, they never got me.
Yeah, he'd be gone every weekend for the National Guard, and I'd stay with his grandmother while he was in Raleigh at the National Guard Armory down there. Because
Anyway,
he was stationed.
me and everybody that served under me, my company, never killed anybody. We may have fought somebody, and Sherry may kick that dude's ass that tried to knife me there at the market area in Saudi Arabia.
Well, he almost got called up to the Middle East, but luckily he didn't have to go.
But there's
He was motivated, or I forget what to call it.
It's not the people of Saudi Arabia I have a beef with. It's their leadership.
It was motivated to where they had to go down to Fort Bragg to get ready to get sent off. But
Yeah, Fort Bragg is for the Green Berets. I mostly spent most of my time, if I was stateside, I was in Texas. Fort Hood.
In Killeen.
And I went to Fort Riley briefly.
Fort Hood's in Killeen, Texas. I had a friend go there.
Yeah, if you're in the cavalry, you're flying helicopters, you're most likely you're going to Fort Hood. There's no getting around it.
Well, his ASVAB score was so low that he was only in maintenance and gardening. And then he went AWOL a few times.
That I would never do. Even for a woman, I would not go AWOL. I won't do it. Nope. I was honorable. Even though I almost caused an international incident, though.
he never did any of that.
He lied his way through.
He
Somehow they
was
accepted him.
able to get graduated or something from his being an officer. And
Yeah, but
he got good recommendations.
I was referring to Andy. He was AWOL.
yeah, but what caused that one of the international incidents, besides pouring the wine out and not drinking with our enemies, I saw him as our enemy. was when we were in the marketplace and I saw that Saudi national woman with blue eyes. She had these beautiful blue eyes, but her father was German. And I took her burqa off, is what it is, and to look at the rest of her face. I said, ma'am, I got to see the rest of your face. And I took it down. And she spoke English. And she even looked at me like, what are you doing? At that time, I didn't give a shit it was against the law or not. I said, we're here happening to do this shit. You're going to have to deal with us. That's my opinion. And I've never liked how they treated women in that country, nor I didn't like the public beheadings either.
Yeah. Sean, I appreciate you being here the whole time and hanging out. I'm probably going to cut it off.
Me, I'm just going to watch TV until I fall asleep.
Remember to put your CPAP on.
Nah, when I start feeling tired, I'm going to fall asleep. I'll put it on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, see you.